We are recording a truth or drink, baby. Cheers. We have questions. Well, let's get into this. So if you guys haven't watched a truth or drink before, it's kind of like you either answer the question or you drink.
What is a secret you kept from your parents?
A secret I kept from my parents? My parents pretty much know everything.
You don't have
It's
anything?
really hard not to keep anything from them.
Oh.
You know?
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna actually answer this so that I'm not drunk by the end of this. But like, we'd go on vacation and I would basically like sneak off. My mom just thought I like went to walk around the resort and they thought it was safe and like all this stuff because we used to travel. Nope, every trip there was always a boyfriend.
Oh my God.
There was always some like boy. I was like 11-year-old me was like, I'm gonna find the love of my life in Hawaii. And then that was like, I think the first time my mom found out that like I would always wander off and like go meet boys and like be with their families because I was crying and my dad was like, what is she crying about? Like, what's wrong with her? Are we crazy?
Just a little. Do you think you can have multiple best friends or only one?
I think you can have multiples, but I think it's in different ways and in different phases. I think people come like in and out.
I think like mixing people can be really hard because some people like just don't gel really well, and that's okay. But yeah, I think you can have multiple best friends, but I think every person serves a different purpose in your life.
Yeah, it's a hard thing because I've like had all these friends that have been like best friends, and like I still call everyone my best friends, but like in different phases of your life they're in or they're out, or like how involved they are, how much you have in common, like all of that changes.
Yeah.
This one says reveal all the details of your first kiss.
Oh my God, mine was so embarrassing. It was in a movie theater.
Oh,
No,
okay.
No, I'm not. It's so easy.
I'm like
No, mine was just so embarrassing. It was like in a movie theater. It was just so awkward. It was with the weirdest dude. He was like kind of like, he like got around in middle school. I was like, what are you doing? Like, okay, I don't know why I was with him. But yeah, it was a weird time. I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
So awkward. We like had to go to the movie theater and like sit in the back row and kiss. And it wasn't even like a makeout. It was just like a, I was like, all of that for that. Oh my God.
My first kiss was in 6th grade when I moved to the mountains. And I had friends, and this one girl was my friend, and she had a twin brother. And
she got around.
No, her twin brother was my first kiss, but we were at Winter Park because like when I moved up there, like I just was like hanging out with kids all the time. Like it's such like a small town vibe. So we're hanging out at Winter Park. I wasn't skiing that day. I was like just hanging out at the base, and there's like a building where all the food is, which now it's kind of like closed. But it was in an elevator, and then the door opened and she was like, I'm gonna tell everyone. And it was her, she was talking about like that I kissed her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not live that down as the new kid, and I literally was only at that school for like a year. Like, we're not friends anymore. Like,
oh my God. She's like, yeah, you kissed my twin brother.
Ew, that's so gross.
Oh my God.
I'm like, why did I do that?
Worst experience with a college professor or class?
I didn't have a bad college professor experience. I had a professor that I liked a lot, and I had a friend who basically like just disrespected her, and
I know you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I was like, where are you going with this?
And like it made me really sad because it was like, okay, like you have all these friends, like they're all struggling in this class, but like this professor I like really looked to and looked up to, and they were just kind of like
Weird.
taken back, and they were like, this like kind
This
of
girl
behavior's
sucks,
not
yeah.
okay. Like, I hope you're not like in on it. And it was like a moment of disappointment like that she saw in me.
Yeah.
And I had nothing to do with it, but the rest of the class was outraged, and I was performing really well, and like I really looked up to this professor.
Yeah.
So like that was like a really weird experience where like it was like, oh, you're kind of a kiss ass, and I was like, no, I just like really love this professor and I love this subject, and like this is something I want to do someday.
Yeah.
And it was like a
I do
really
remember that.
hard, like, it was
a hard,
so
like,
uncomfortable because it was like,
because they made you feel uncomfortable for like feeling like she was doing a good job, like the
yeah,
professor was.
and no one thought she was doing a good job, and I was like, well, like,
but
you
she
can't
did
pass
also
everyone.
she did also learn a lot from that class though, because when I took her class the next semester,
she was very controlled.
It was very controlled, and she didn't put up with any bullshit. Like, she was just like, yeah, this is how the class goes, and this is how it is. Like, get over it. Yeah.
That was like,
she was I never had problems with her. We had the same professor. I never had problems with her. I think she was just a little.
She's young.
Yeah, she was young. I think.
She's
yeah,
not
I
even
don't
26.
think,
she just was.
Yeah. And I think she kind of just was trying to figure it all out. Like.
Yeah.
I don't think she taught. Like, I don't think she taught the right topics in that class. I think something should have gone
differently,
more in depth, or like more like, oh wow, okay, we need to focus on this, because. Yeah. We just talked about like cultural trends.
It was like as much or as little as you wanted to involve yourself. It was a lot of like personal work. It was like, here's the course. If you want to do more.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like that's something we were both so interested in. But
I know, and I felt like I didn't really get a lot out of that class.
Like, there could have been more, but some people thought it was too much, too specific. Like, and that was like kind of eye-opening to me, because I'm like, that's what I want to teach someday, and like I want to do my student teaching hours under her, like if I go back for a master's and a PhD. So that was
something we do every day too. Like, that's like that's a topic that we do almost every day.
It was like a social media class, if you guys are wondering. It was like marketing.
Marketing, social media. I've never had like a bad professor experience. I think there was like a couple classes that I just didn't like.
Yeah.
I think there was some classes that were really hard for no reason. Like,
you just never had like someone like, I think that question refers to like if someone had like a professor hit on them, or like
just like a bad experience. They were mean.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 classes. There was like that intro to marketing class thing. I don't know. It was like a marketing class, and
it wasn't a nice guy. Yeah.
But yeah, he was really nice, but he just like taught his class so weird, and he was like really strict. But
let's talk about this. Do you have a secret you're taking to the grave?
No. I'm a pretty open book. Oh shit, Megan does. If you guys are not watching, Megan just took a sip, so.
Took a chug.
Took a chug.
What's the most illegal thing you've ever done?
Oh, I don't do illegal things.
Okay. So I'm just with this straight edge girl named Taylor. It's fine.
I just took a drink for those.
Like, what kind of illegal? Like,
the most illegal thing you've done. Like, law bending illegal. Just drink for this.
What are we talking about
Megan
here?
just exposes herself on the internet. My god. Like,
why drunk?
Read the last thing you sent to your best friend or significant other out loud. To my significant other, I just texted him at Maggie's.
The last thing I said to Michael was, I'm going to the gym and then I'm gonna come over. I turned on the Furbo and let the tank out. Didn't end up shipping out packages. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna come over at like 7:30. What's the gate code? I'm on my way. And this is all in one thread. Like, I wish I was kidding, but I just don't stop.
The last thing I texted you was that I'm on my way and that I needed help.
And I said KK.
When was the last time you lied?
Well, I can't really lie, because like,
yeah, I can't
Michael
either.
and I
will laugh.
Yeah. We like look at each other. He's like, you're lying right now. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'm not lying.
And he's like, you're lying.
I mean, I tell white lies every day. Like, I think I'm gonna be on time and I'm not. That's a lie.
I mean, you were very forward with me today. You were like, you know,
I'm late. I texted her at like 10:30 because I thought I was gonna be at my friend's house at 10, and I was like, I'm not even there yet. Like, just expect me to be late, because
we're both in relationships, but I feel like this is a good one along with Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Your instant deal breakers, like in the past, would have been your, like, this is an instant deal breaker. I have a good one.
Go ahead.
Mama's boys are a deal breaker.
Yes.
Because like it's a boundary thing, and it's not just like their mom loves them, it's that next level of like,
they're like too much.
Like, I had someone I dated who, we were sitting on the couch, and his mom comes and sits down on the couch with us and puts her arm around him, and it's just like, I was like, what is happening?
You're like, I have to get out of here, this is too much.
And there was like a couple guys in a row that I dated that like, it was like that, and there was no boundaries, and it was like, the mom was like his best friend, like, oh, he comes to me for everything, and I was like,
ew,
this is a problem.
Yeah, I don't know, I think that's a big one. I also think like, manners. Like, I hate, like, when people don't have manners.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like informalities, but it's like, it's a big deal, like, if they meet your family and they...
Yeah, and they're just mean, or like...
They don't, like, use a napkin, or
like, they, like, don't say hi. Like, it's just weird.
Shake their hand, like, look them in the eye, like, very, like, red flag things.
Well, even, like, if you go, like, say it's, like, a first date and you go out to dinner and, like, they're not nice to the waiter or the waitress, or they don't tip, or like they don't do any of those things.
Tipping's a huge.
Oh my god, tipping's
wow,
a huge
they asked
thing.
for one thing and we've got all these things.
We've got all of them.
I mean, we're with good guys because we have very high standards after having low standards.
Horrible boyfriends in the past.
We're just be like, it's fine, and now it's like, okay, I see now why.
Yeah. What are the top 3 things you look in a boyfriend or a girlfriend? I think that's a good one for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I think my top 3 is like, I think like manners, like again, like I look for like the proper, not proper etiquette, but just like niceness, and someone who's like
who they are as a
kind.
person.
Yeah. I think someone who has a great personality and can make me laugh, like that's a huge thing, because I love laughing. I want to have a good time. I want to be funny.
Together. Yeah.
I think just like someone who's caring and like is very just generous. Yeah. And like you can tell that right off the bat. If someone is just like not interested and kind of just like, ugh, like whatever, like I'm too good for you, you can tell if they're like genuinely interested.
This is gonna sound stupid, but like if there's no physical attraction like from the start,
yeah, that is true. Like, because then you can't like have
I don't understand people who are like, yeah, we like weren't attracted to each other, we were just like friends for a really long time and then like we hit it off. I'm like, that attraction's a huge part of it. 2 and 3 would be in line with like who they are as a person. Like, are they genuine? Are they caring? Like, who they are like in real scenarios is my number 2. And then 3 is like communication, which is funny because like that evolves as you're together. Having like strong communication, a strong attraction, and like just like someone genuine by your side. Like those are my non-negotiables.
Yeah. I think communication is huge. Like if you can communicate with someone about everything, like that is such a turn on.
Yeah, like nothing's off the table. Like,
yeah, like you can talk
like
some
people
anything.
are like, oh, we don't talk about that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, or like, oh, I don't talk about that stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, favorite thing about each other?
You wanna go first or you want me?
I don't care.
I feel like you keep it real. Like I feel like a lot of people don't keep it like real, and you're not afraid to be like, you're being stupid, or like, okay, it's okay, you can have your moment, but then like, what the fuck are you doing? Or you're just like, I can't listen to you anymore. Like no one else will do that. Like someone's gonna be afraid of your feelings being hurt, and like I try to be that person, but I have a really hard time with it, and you don't. You just like speak your mind, and like you need someone like that, because if you don't have someone like that, who the hell is gonna keep you in check?
Me, bitch.
But like in a good way too, like when I need, like you know when to like.
Well, sometimes you don't need it, and I'm like, dude.
And you're like, I'm gonna like not let you be in your feelings for a minute. You need to pull it the fuck together.
I think I allow you to be in your feelings. I just think I'm like, dude, next time don't do this. I'm like, you know better. I think my favorite thing about you is like you're so hardworking and like you're so resilient to like things. Oh my god. I did not even put that together. That was disgusting. I totally forgot that was your tattoo.
My arm says resilience. If you're not watching the video.
Yeah, she has a tattoo. Oh my god, that was crazy. Ew, I hated that.
Look how loud my laugh was.
In your past and in your present day too, like I feel like you are just like, you just take it on, like, and you've learned how to kind of just be like, yeah, I'm rolling with it, like, let's go, like, let's just do it, and like, it's just been so cool. Like, you're really hardworking when it comes to like what you want in life. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, I don't think I was always resilient. Maybe I got the tattoo and reminded myself.
She's like, I have to be
like, I have to. I literally wrote the words on my arm. That's funny.
But yeah, I think, I like, that's like my favorite thing about you. It's very hardworking. It's very like, I like what would Megan do?
Mush gush.
Your most embarrassing stories together. Ooh.
Can I talk about tequila Tay in the bathroom? Okay, I'm gonna
Oh my god.
You're gonna take
I
this
just
one.
got so drunk one night, okay guys?
Okay, so you had your year. It was like an emotional year, and it was like the first year.
I really found myself
That was
year.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was literally like the first like year we were super close, like launching the podcast, like doing all this stuff because we knew each other before. I had like shot with you and like that in like 2018. We're sitting in a bathroom.
We went out that night. This was
We're in a club.
Okay, to preface,
We're in a club.
this was like up with one of the nights that I was blacked out. Like
This was an influencer birthday party that we.
Oh my god, I was so uncomfortable. But this was like, it was one of the nights where like I can vividly remember getting blacked out drunk. And like I only have 2 of those nights, and this is one of those nights. So you know what?
It was a good moment for you. Like it was one of those like, okay, now we pull
like,
it together. Okay, so
I was
to
like,
make
I'm
it
never
short,
doing this
it's an influencer's birthday party in the basement of this club, and they're like, oh, you can't come in here, oh, you can't sit with us. And Taylor was like, I am going to the DJ booth, and I will just leave it at that. And I was like, I'm like not comfy. It's weird back here. And you're like, it's a privilege. And I was like, oh my god, where am I? I don't go out. I don't.
The preface around the privilege of the DJ booth was
I have
like
to
the
drink
year
for this.
the year before I was partying in Vegas, and literally we got brought up into the DJ booth for some weird reason. And in Vegas, so like Vegas is like a different world. If you guys understand and you guys know Vegas, it's a different world.
Clubs and bars, they're different.
Yeah, so like they literally were like, aren't you guys so happy? Like it's a privilege to be here. Like smile, have fun. And I'm like, okay. Like I'm like drunk off my ass. They're like feeding me like vodka Red Bulls, and it's like 10 a.m. and I'm like sick. Like it was like a pool party. But the girl who was like doing this whole thing was like, look like you're having fun. Like it's a privilege. Like she just kept saying that. So I think like my drunk brain was like, it's a privilege.
Come on, it's a privilege. Like dance. We then end up in the bathroom. And this was like Taylor and I are always like peeing drunk together. It's fine. This one single bathroom stall downstairs because you have to be let into this influencer birthday party because it was the promoter's like lady friend. We'll leave it at that. Like we never have good experiences when it's like influencer related.
No, we should have known.
And I like turn around and she doesn't just like take off her bodysuit, like she's just ass naked on the toilet like this, and there's people banging on the door. They're banging on it. I'm like, Taylor, we have to go. And she's like, I want to stay here all night. And that's when she went on like about the privilege of the DJ booth, and I was like, God. I don't go to Denver. It's like 2 a.m. Like you're like, oh no, the night must go on, and I left you in Denver.
It was horrible.
I left you. I literally took an Uber home with some Asian
Capri
driver.
Thank God for Capri. Capri, if you're listening, right?
Capri's like, I've got it. She's like,
Capri's
go
like,
home. I've got this.
Capri's like, well, and her roommate was drunk too.
Yeah.
So she was like, I got it.
Sauce. I was like, I can't leave. Like this is wild. But that was wait, what was the question?
The most embarrassing moments together.
Do you have an embarrassing moment
of you?
Probably my 21st. You're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Dude, I like...
It's on your TikTok.
She was so hammered at her 21st birthday. She was like, I have a video of her literally like spilling her whole drink on the ground, not knowing it. But she's just dancing, and then all of a sudden it just like fucking spills
I'm also
over.
wearing like this glittery top. I've got platinum
cute,
blonde
though.
hair.
You
I've got a
cute.
princess like crown on.
It was cute. It was
and
awesome.
I was sloshed. I'm like
sloshed. We just don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I have one more, and we were sober. The first time we had class together, she shows up to accounting. She pulls out her phone. She's like, I'm vlogging. Would you like to be in my vlog? And I'm afraid of filming myself in public. And I'm like, and Kylan's sitting there like,
oh my god.
And you're like, hey guys, we're in accounting.
Megan makes it sound more dramatic than it actually was. Everybody was talking. We were all just like hanging out. Like
my social anxiety says everyone was looking. If you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I'd either listen to Big Booty Mix Volume 18. What? It's an hour and a half of songs. So
no,
like
it's just one song for the rest
no,
of
but
your
it's
life.
mashed. That's a one song. It's just an hour. See, I've got 47 minutes left. That's what I work out to.
Oh.
It's Two Friends Big Booty Mixes.
Oh, God.
And it's 18. And it like has like UCLA and it's got like all these good songs.
Megan,
Or
this is the girl who created a 16-hour house mix, and she called it
Jay Alvarez and Alexis Wren. Like, why did I name a 16-hour playlist when I was high? Like, I was literally baked, and I named it after two influencers that aren't even together, and we found the playlist, and Taylor's like, I love this, you made this, and I was like, no, I found it. And like, I would name a playlist with Jay Alvarez and Alexis Wren.
I literally was like, you did this, and she's like, no, I didn't. I think I would listen to, I don't know, that's so hard. Probably like a Chris Brown song, because I do really like Chris Brown. I'm probably gonna get canceled for that, but whatever. I love Chris Brown. Or like, I don't know, I love Harry Styles. I don't know, something stupid like that.
Or Mirrors on the Ceiling by Mike.
What is that? Oh, I do know this song. Well, alright. Where's the weirdest place you've had sex? Keeping it PG. What is opposite about you and me? It's not a biggest strength, but it's a good question.
But you really do value high-end items and you take care of your things, whereas I just, for whatever reason, like, my mom said I've always been like this. When I was 5, like, I would destroy my shoes. I'd come home and she'd be like, okay, let's go buy some more shoes. We're very alike. Like,
yeah, we are very alike. I think we, like, on paper we're very alike, but we also have like the same morals and like values and stuff, which holds our relationship together. But I also think like we kind of handle things very differently too, just because of the way that we like were brought up. I think if we want to get into politics, we're very different on politics.
We're polar opposite on politics.
But we do agree on
a lot of things.
A lot of things, but on paper we're different.
I walk the line, but like I feel like you're more one way than the other, and I'm very
and you're
like,
more one way than the other.
I'm like, I can waver. Like,
no,
really,
you can't. You are one way.
I am very like, oh, like all these like amazing things.
Yeah,
drunk.
I think
fine.
if you're not drunk, I think we are very. I think okay. I think we are very. We're very similar, but I think we are very different too. Like you have very different hobbies than I do, and like that I feel like helps us like kind of differentiate. Your tastes in men are very different than mine, which is good because, like, you know, even though we are in like very serious relationships, so you know.
Yeah, we value things very differently, I feel like.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, we just like stupid surface level stuff. Like
I also like I have a really
same.
bad temper, and you are more like even like.
But I like hold things on. Like I hold on to things more than you do. I feel like you
like I might snap. Like if I'm not cautious and think through something, I might just snap.
But you like you do, but you also like deal with it in the moment and then you get over it, where I like
you keep coming back to the same thing.
Yeah, like
and
I'm
then
like,
that's when I can tell you like,
I'm like, no, this is wrong.
I'm like, okay, well, we have moved on now. So
like today, perfect example, something happened to me at work. And I was upset about it for like 2 hours. I should have probably been upset about it for 30 minutes. But I was like upset
But she
about
kept going, and I was like, well, this was your sign.
Yeah, she's like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not
And then eventually, like, you get it all out, and you're like,
okay.
Anyways.
Have you ever sent an embarrassing text to someone on accident? Yeah, I mean, maybe. I feel like I've sent like something to the wrong person. I'm like, oh my god, so sorry. I actually did. I sent my location to someone that I was doing like business stuff with on accident, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. That was really awkward.
I don't think I've ever texted
Do you think you're a good kisser?
Yeah.
She's so precise.
Do you?
About it. Yeah.
No, you
I
gotta
think
go. You gotta go. Yeah. No shit.
No, I think I am. I think I just get like too caught up in the moment though, and I just like kind of freeze, and I'm just enjoying this moment. Especially with my boyfriend now, I just kind of am like we just make out, and then all of a sudden I just like stop, and I'm just like, oh, this is nice. Do you take naughty pictures of yourself?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink that.
Well, that means yes. People
I mean, we're
forget.
both in serious relationships,
Yeah.
so like, what do you
why
think?
wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, anyways.
Do you have any frenemies?
I wouldn't say like frenemies. I would say like a lot of like people who are like mutual, where there's not like, we've never been like close, but like we're always together, but it's like, I don't know, there's not really anything there. There's not anyone that I have to like play nice to and be like, I can't do that. You know my personality. Like,
yes, I know.
I can't just like play nice and pretend and be like, oh my gosh, BFF, and then be like, oh god.
Yeah, but some people
like
do that.
I can't do that. Like, I'm not capable of
Yeah.
doing that. Like, I'm very like, I like you, great. We don't like each other, well, like, let's figure this out. Like, I don't, the frenemy thing, like,
It doesn't work well.
I like internalize that. So
Yeah.
no.
No. Ever been cheated on? And have you ever cheated on someone? No and
He
no.
didn't-
Well, yes and no. I have never cheated on someone, but I have been cheated on. Like, someone's cheated on somebody else when I was dating them.
Yeah. I've never been, I've never cheated, but I dated a guy.
Oh,
and
yes.
he basically broke it off because he was like, well, I had to turn it down. And I'm like pretty sure that they hooked up, and it wasn't just like a girl, it was like 2 girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
love that.
it was a little bit of home wrecking. So
That's fine.
I mean, he told me it didn't happen, but I'm like, how you broke it off? So like you wanted it to happen, so that's pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also just been like played, kind of like strung along.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my like first relationships, like when I was younger, were like just stringing me along, like, and like I was like in the background.
Yeah. How often do you check your ex's online social media, if ever?
I think I check in because I don't wish anything bad for them.
I
And
do.
like, wow.
I hate them.
Tank.
He wants to be
concerned.
involved.
He's very concerned.
He wants to be involved.
I do check, but it's more of like I want to know like you're doing well, and like I had seen one of my exes like lost a dog, and I was really sad. And I was like, it was like for a split second, like I was reflecting on like, ugh, like I hate them, like I don't like them very much. And then I had seen that their dog passed, and I was like, gosh, I cannot wish the worst on people. Like I literally saw that the day later after I was like, they really messed me up, like thinking about it. And then I saw their dog pass, and I was like, that is so sad. Like I don't want to wish negative things on people.
Don't check in, like they sometimes pop up on like my For You page,
That's like a good
but like I
boundary
just
for you.
don't.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'll try to check in, but they're both private, and like I just don't. Even if I try, like the last time I tried, quote unquote, was like probably like a year ago before I started dating like my current boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like don't
It's
care.
not like a bad like check in though. Like I think for me, like a lot of my friend groups are combined, and like a lot
It's very different for you.
a
'cause,
lot
like,
of people
are
resurface.
intertwined,
Yeah,
too.
a lot of things are intertwined. I had this conversation with one of our like mutual friends last night. It's hard to cut people out like that. Like he was like, yeah, like I still have to see all my exes. He's like, because it's those 4 or 5 people you hang out with, one of them hangs out with this 4 or 5 other group of people that your ex happens to be a part of. And I'm like, yeah, especially when everyone went to school at CSU and CU, and like then other
then just
exes
other
from
people
other
just
schools
try-
became friends. Like it is really messy, and like there is no bad blood at this point for me between any of my exes. So like seeing on social media is not an issue. Like I don't have anyone blocked or anything like that. Like no hard feelings, because like those things just like ended. And like I walked away. Like there was never like a point where any door was left open.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just different because of the way like
the way
my
that your friends are, yeah.
Yeah, versus you have
Yeah.
exes that were like in different stages of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, no, I don't check in on them.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll want to do like 2 more questions and then we'll stop.
Was that English?
Hello. You want to do 2 more questions?
Yeah. 2 more.
Okay. Have you ever had a pregnancy scare?
Yes.
I don't think I ever have. I feel like
Taylor always thinks she's pregnant. I'm like, Taylor, you're
I've been on birth control for like 4 months or 4 years, and Megan's like, dude, you're fine. I'm like,
I had like
no.
a real one. Like I really thought.
No, she really thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, and it was like not.
She had a panic attack for.
Oh no. Okay, I guess I've had multiple.
Describe the weirdest date you've ever gone on. It could be with like your current boyfriend too, or like just anything that was just like awkward.
We never really had a weird dates.
Yeah. I went on a lot of weird dates because I was like dating in like my later, like not my later years, but like my early 20s. Like I'm still in my early 20s.
Wait, did you ever
but
go on
like
dating apps?
yeah. Oh
yeah. See, like I never had that experience. So
yeah,
I feel
dude,
like
I was on dating apps. I was on all of them at one point.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like where weird experiences come from because it's not
yeah.
usually people that you'd get matched up with. Where like when I was dating before my relationship, like I was just, younger and like that didn't exist.
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
You slid into DMs
and then you just
and it was like a mutual or someone.
Yeah, a lot of weird dates. And one in particular, and I will talk about it because I don't care. He took me to like a Rockies game, and he literally just talked about the podcast the whole time. And
it was very business.
Yes.
You called me.
Yeah. And he was like, I want to be a guest on your podcast. Like, that would be so cool. Like,
you think he's listening?
No. And especially not this far in.
He could be.
I don't care. And he was just like super weird. He like told me to basically buy followers on Instagram.
Was weird because it was like you had the impression you were going on a date, and then he.
No, I think he wanted to date me because he was very interested. He was just very weird, and like he kind of was doing the same thing as me. Like he was starting a business and like was doing all this stuff, like cool, whatever. Like
I forgot about him.
We went to the same high school. We went to the same high school, so like we had a lot of mutuals and like whatever. And I actually dated my senior year of high school. I dated one of his really good friends, who was 2 years older than us. So he just like we have a lot of history together, and he's really nice, but he was just weird. Like, and then we went afterwards. We went to this like area in Denver, and like he was just so by my followers and like to get me to where I'm going, like you have to do this and like all of this shit. And so I was just like, this is so awkward.
It became very business oriented.
And it became like this conversation that I really was like, yeah, I'm like not comfortable having this convo with you. Like we don't need to have this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Like we're on a date. Like let's talk about it for a little bit and then like move on.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. I've been on a lot of other weirder dates too, like, but that's like the one I can remember.
Yeah.
I definitely dated a guy who, when we went on one date where we went to a coffee shop and he was just like telling me about how beautiful I was for like the whole time, and I was like, this is so awkward. I was like, I'm gonna leave.
Like, have you
now.
socialized much?
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta go. This has been a really long episode. Sorry guys, but we just had so much fun. That was like the quickest hour I've ever.
Drunk.
You were not drunk.
There's not very much wine left in this. Okay, so Apple Podcasts is where you can rate us, follow us on the app that you're listening on, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like us having video for our episodes. It was really fun. We forget to look at the camera because like we're so used to just like chatting.
Recording, yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We are doing podcast episodes, it seems like monthly, so
yeah.
Just kind of look out for them. We're always on Instagram too, so just look out for us there. And yeah, we will chat probably in another month, guys. So don't come for us, okay?
See ya in March.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I guess we could turn off the camera.